Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to a live episode of the Studios podcast here from Multiverse of Color. I'm your host, Andy B, as always, and we're live. We're live on multiple YouTube channels right now. We're live on Multiverse of Color's YouTube channel, DC Podcast YouTube channel, to come to you and discuss the arrival of the latest Lanterns trailer, lots of casting updates for the Batman Part 2, and then other DC updates while we're at it. And Yo, we have a huge panel joining us, so we're gonna get right into it. First, we have a longtime member of MOC and who's on the last episode and who maybe just maybe caused the old trailer to disappear. Keenan Walker. Keenan,
Hi.
how are we doing today?
I'm fantastic. I'm so ready to talk about this trailer, Andy.
Yeah, because last time you were on, I don't know if you did something. You said last time when you were on the Studio Series podcast last time, you said you hadn't seen the new the first trailer yet.
I didn't. I have watched it since.
Yeah. The funniest bit is that the day after we did that stream is when the old trailer just like got taken down, and I feel like because you didn't watch it initially, so like something happened in the universe. I just thought the timing was really funny because I'm like, wait a minute, we just talked about it, and now he's like, oh, I'm gonna go see it when I see it, and then
Yeah,
here we are.
It was underwhelming, so I'm glad that we got this new one.
Joining us also is he's the host of the Film Gorillas podcast, and he is Kyle from Canada. Kyle, how are we doing today? Why is he? Why? What happened? Why are you shook up? You're muted.
Did you say the first trailer was underwhelming? Are you been hanging out with it wasn't green enough? Come on.
No, it was not. It was,
I wasn't vibing with it.
Well, I'm glad we're here to talk about trailer number 2 today.
Yeah. It's just the timing was just hilarious because I'm like, did we do something? Like, is it because we did? It's because he said he hadn't watched it at HBO. Was like, nope. Now we're just taking it away. And we haven't had this guy on in a very hot second. And he is the admin and the creator of Home of DCU. So we're gonna welcome back Kyle, who sadly is not on camera today, but that's totally fine. As long as we can hear you, it's all good. Kyle, how are we doing today?
I'm good. Sorry, no cam. I'm still searching for it. It's lost somewhere in the travel boxes, but I'm here.
And you graduated. Congratulations.
Not yet. This summer.
Not yet. Well, this summer he will.
Yeah,
he will. Because remember, everyone, he is the youngest here, so he's gonna make us all feel ancient in one way or the other. And but we're proud of you, and we're excited for you. And I don't know what kids do these days at graduations.
Listen, I just went home and just chilled. Like, that's it.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you with us for.
And immediately when I got back home, I pre-ordered the Lego Batman game.
Yes, I've seen a lot of reviews emerging about that today. It's this week?
Yeah, this week.
Oh.
Deluxe is up tonight, actually.
Oh, nice.
I was almost contemplating looking on Twitch to see if anyone was streaming. Like, no, I want to play this for myself, and which means yes, I'm actually finally getting into Lego gaming, which is I don't judge, but I just think for me, like I never had a reason to get it, but now I'm like, but this looks actually pretty freaking cool. So there you go.
Skywalker Saga game was excellent. The one that was all 9 movies. I think that's the closest in terms of what Legacy of the Dark Knight's going to be.
Oh, you shall see. But we have someone new with us today as well. She's a good buddy that I got acquainted with throughout the still good parts of the internet that still exist. She has her own YouTube channel where she talks about pop culture, including DC. So we're gonna welcome Miss Yara Wayne to these two podcasts. Yara, how you doing today? Welcome.
Hey guys. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for the invitation to talk about, this stuff that we love to talk about. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, no, we're glad to have you.
With my dog, Kalel.
Oh, wait, is that his actual name?
Yeah, Kalel.
Oh,
I have almost the whole Justice League in my house. Actually, I have Bruce. I have well, Selena Kyle is not part of the Justice League. I have Diana, so I have the Trinity.
There you
Let's say
go. There you go. I know if I ever get dogs, I'm like, one will at least be named Clark and one will be named Barry after my favorite two DC peeps. And also because I feel Barry is also like a perfect name for like a golden retriever, so
Oh
kind of feel it
yes,
would. But gang, there was a lot of green today for a show that's supposedly not supposed to have any green. Exactly. There we go. There we go. There was a lot of green, and I'm not talking about St. Patrick's Day. Like this was, like I feel like HBO was just watching Twitter for these last couple of months. I'm like, we'll show them. So we're gonna just get right into it. For guys who are watching live, if you haven't watched the trailer yet, you can go to HBO's YouTube channel or DC's YouTube channel. Or, they're doing the whole collab thing now, so it is up. Go check it out, and then come back because we're gonna go into full spoilers. So this is your only warning, and here we go. So Lanterns, the season 1 teaser, as they're calling it. Even though I felt this was more of a full trailer, we get a bigger sense of what the actual story is this time. Last time when we had the first teaser, it was really much, let's just give you a little taste of what's to come, but still leave you wonder, what is this actually going to be? So, Yara, I'll start with you. Just like overall impressions, your first impressions of seeing this.
you started with me.
Yeah, we're starting with you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I have like it's very hard difficult to talk about this because the DC space in X or Twitter, whatever, is very hard. And if you say something, you get attacked. If you say another thing, you also get attacked. So from the beginning, I have a lot of faith for this show because of the people that are behind of this show, and I knew that it was going to be a little bit controversial because of the story, true detective story, even that we all are waiting for like space things, but my hype has been like growing from each thing that we have seen and each thing that we have read, because there's a lot of interviews out there. So this teaser trailer, I don't know what they keep calling it a teaser. This is, for me, it's like a trailer.
Yeah,
it's like you say, like they show us a lot and they give us a little bit of what is like maybe what's going to happen or what is happening, so I like it. I like, finally we see some green. People were complaining about the green. I'm not very sold about the whole, the look, the suit, and but that's like that's, for me, it's like, yeah, it's important, but it's not that important because I care about the story, and I am just wondering what the hell is going to go to happen in this show, and I got really excited about it. So yeah, I like it.
there we go. Cole, I know you. You've been getting ready for Lanterns, I feel like, for the longest time out of any of us, because I feel like, anytime there's been like small tidbits, I will always see it like first on Home of DCU, and I'm like, okay, I relate because I'm also excited. But what were your overall first takes on this trailer compared to what we saw? Was it 2 months? Wait, how long ago was the first trailer? It was this year,
2
right?
months ago.
It was like 2 months ago, right? Let me see.
2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I don't feel it was that long ago. I felt it was like fairly recent.
Yeah, it was recent.
I feel like we will get another trailer for it, probably at San Diego. But yeah, for
March.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, same thoughts with Yara. I mean, visually very good. And I was worried that we wouldn't get a lot of those intergalactic things and different planets, but obviously that trailer just showed a lot in terms of some intergalactic a prison, an intergalactic prison. That's cool. I'm a little underwhelmed with the suit, but I have hope. I have hope that when the ring is activated and he's wearing the suit, it's gonna glow up. That's my theory, and I'm holding up hope for that. But yes, a lot of green. I love the colors. I love the cinematography, and I'm excited to see what's to come.
Keenan, and because you better have watched this. Like, I hope this time you actually watch this, because I gave you at least a few hours head notice.
I did.
But
I watched it.
Okay.
I feel like this should have been the first trailer.
Yeah, that's correct.
Do you disagree,
boy.
Kyle?
Kyle,
Well-
wait your turn. Wait your Kyle.
All I
Wait
know
your
is
turn.
I agree.
Way
actually.
more excited than the last trailer did, and I do feel that we're going to get one more before, before the show airs. I do believe we will. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I want to know more about this world. Where are we? Like, where's the story happening? Because I read somewhere there are like 2 timelines. So what's going on when? And then we see him, I guess, seeing Hal on television when he comes back and he's being interviewed, and he's like this kid, and he's like all like, oh, wow, what's going on here? So I want to know what's going on.
Okay, Kyle.
Which
This is first impressions. Then we can get into the larger debate. What were your first takes on this trailer?
I agree with the sentiment that this should have been called the official trailer. The first one functioned as a teaser. And what's so brilliant about this is I would say 90% of the criticisms that could have been levied, I would say unfairly, towards the teaser, they're answered here. This is it's called a teaser. I'm just going to call it the trailer. This trailer is for Green Lantern fans. That's the purpose of this. As one, I think this was fantastic. It's brilliant of that article to have come out when it did, because I think this trailer coinciding with that, I think it was Entertainment Weekly, for me satisfies what my optimism was when they announced the show. And yes, I have more to say when we get into it, but I loved it. I thought it was great. This is just more of my expectations being met, which with DC at this point, that's a really great thing.
Yeah, as someone who was like fairly pro the first trailer, because as someone who also, like, I have a lot of friends who work in marketing, for example, and some people who cut trailers and like some of the strategy to do marketing and whatnot. I always felt like that this was always going to be the plan, that when we get to the next whatever presentation we get of it, we will see like why this is a DC show. And the first teaser is to really, because we have to remember, this isn't, even though they keep marketing HBO Max like crazy in these teasers, like, this is going to be HBO Prestige. Like, this is going to be airing on Sundays, August 16th, which has now finally been announced. Exactly. Like, this isn't just a streaming show. This is cable. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that has been my theory, like, from the day one, because I was explaining because when the first like teaser came out and everybody was like complaining, the first thing that I said was they already told us what this is about. And second, I think the strategy here is that they want to appeal to the HBO audience first, to make those people to sit down on Sunday and watch this show because it's a DC show, but maybe they are not into DC, or because the audience is people that watch it, White Lotus, Succession. You need to understand that the HBO audience is different from the DC audience. So that was my theory. They are beginning to show this because they want to first attract those people, and then they will give us fun what we want. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
No, it makes the most sense because again, like, listen, we all of us here, we're proud comic book fans. We're passionate about these things, but I think we can all agree that we represent maybe a small fraction of the people who watch these shows, go see the movies, buy tickets. Like, in comparison to the general audience, like there are fewer of us than there are general audience members. Like, if I were to show this to my mother, this trailer that came out today, she would have been like, "Oh no, I'm not into this." But
Exactly.
if I show her the teaser, and she's like, "Wait, what are they investigating?" I'm like, "It's some sort of murder." Well, where are
Mhm.
they? I'm like, "Somewhere in the, you know."
Yeah, that's the
So
thing.
like, it's very different. It's very different demographics, and again, it's. I think that what people sometimes forget is that we gotta be patient when they are marketing these things because like they
Mhm.
can't just play their entire hands just like that. Because otherwise, if you get everything you want to see for the show, you're not gonna have anything till August. So for me, when I saw this, I'm like, I'm glad we had that the show was delayed initially because I want them to take as much time as they need to finish all the effects. And the fact I'm like, you're telling me that I'm gonna be seeing this on Sundays on TV when it's like, because I know that I don't know if it was a prequel or like an in between but like, I know there's a Dune show on HBO,
Mhm.
which I don't know, but like that one, I'm like, damn, they put a
Prequel.
lot of money. They look at the prequel, okay, cool. I'm like, they put a lot of money into that for a show, and then we see something like it's Welcome to Derry. I'm like, okay, I fuck with this. Um, Cussing is allowed, everyone. It's all good. And but I as a sci-fi DC geek, whatever you want to call it, I was just blown away by how much they gave us in what was not even 2 minutes, like less than 2 minutes, like how much they were able to give away and really sell the story more. Because once the comments came out from Chris Mundy that this will be dual timelines, first I'm like, I'm praying to God that whatever happens, it doesn't become like Arrow, because if I'm spending multiple seasons investing in a flashback story that then becomes,
You want this to be in Hong Kong for no reason.
please don't remind me about season 3, because that's why I'm like, why what do we do? Why are we here?
The Green
Like,
Batman season.
God, that franchise, like I love the Arrowverse so much, but like there's times when I'm like, this is gonna haunt me until I die. Like
That's
there are
most of
moments.
it.
Okay. But the fact that they sold so much with the fact that, like, okay, we're going to be going back and forth. And this is one of the reasons I love the idea that the DCU takes place in an established franchise where there's already superheroes. Because and we can, dive more into like the specifics now. Like, for example, like, because Hal is one of the big selling points of the show, obviously. Kyle Chandler is the GOAT, of course, because anyone who has seen what he can do, we should be thankful that he's even doing a superhero property. And the fact that we're exploring heroes of these different ages. Again, like when they were playing, like obviously that has to be young Jon Stewart watching on TV. I'm like, I love that there is like, we're going back maybe even all the way back to the 90s or early 2000s where, cassette tapes, the kids, if you don't know it at home, before there were CDs, DVDs, and streaming services, we had to buy things on these like squared things that you have to put into like a player. And
That was the 90s. It was things that were spun because you had VHS tapes and you had cassette tapes. Everything had to get rewound.
Yeah, no, for me, I mean, again, because I remember when cassette tapes like went away in the mid 2000s, because like I was taping everything with things back then. So seeing the fact that we can jump between these timelines and seeing what the DCU looked like 10, 20 years ago, because we're gonna explore 2016, the events between 2016 and 2026. Yeah, there's apparently one of the stories we're going to be exploring is the shooting in Rushville, and then
Yeah, that's the first part.
yeah, and then whatever the mystery is now 10 years later.
Exactly.
So let's start with Kyle Chandler, Hal Jordan. He's our veteran Green Lantern. Yara, what again? We haven't seen Hal in a very long time since Ryan Reynolds, which is a whole different thing in itself. Are you sold on Hal Jordan for the DCU? After everyone's been like, "Oh my God, why are they doing him old? And why are they doing this?" Like, is this a Hal Jordan you can get behind?
I mean, I mean, yes. At this point, yes, because for me, I'm looking or I'm searching for the story, because we need to understand that this is part of the whole story. So that's what gets me like intrigued. Uh, I would love to have a John Hall Jordan, of course, but I'm not that mad about having that our main Green Lantern is going to be John Stewart. So yes, I see that the Hal Jordan that we are going to get here is the way that is presented because of the story that is serving. It has to be because of something. So yes, I'm behind the idea. At first I wasn't, because again I wanted to have like a John Hal Jordan. However, I do think that this is not like the I don't know why I have the feeling that later on we will get to see like more things about Hal Jordan when he was younger. I don't know how, and I don't know why, but I have the feeling that we might get something, that we can see more of him. But at this point, is the story that they want to tell. And yeah, I'm just it's like Kick says, like I want to know what's going on, because I know that this for sure this is part of the whole thing, and James Gunn has said it. So today I was thinking about Peacemaker, the way that Peacemaker ended, because I was thinking about theories about what's going on in Lanterns, what is the big bag in the second half of Lanterns, what is going on, what is going to happen in Man of Tomorrow, because everything is linked. So yeah, I'm sold. At this point, I'm sold.
Cole, how about you? Are you down for this Hal Jordan?
I'm gonna say yes and no, because I think Kyle embodies Hal Jordan, and I'm so excited for him in this season. That being said, I'm pretty confident that he's going to die, like probably at the end of the season. Um, with that knowledge, and it's like a culmination of like what the story's kind of teasing up to, and it's basically just um, bringing down the mantle to John. And I think John will be the main Green Lantern of this universe, at least early on. And that excites me much more, because I know how Jordan is in this role as just a mentorship role.
Keenan, Kyle Chandler, your favorite actor. How?
Okay,
how
so I just took some time to scroll through IMDb, and I've not seen one thing he's been
I'm
in.
messing with you. I'm messing with you. It's
No,
all good.
I listen. Sometimes people use the word movie star, and I feel like they use it loosely. I, I don't know this man. He could be award winning. I don't know. He did do an
Emmy
episode
award
of.
winning.
Oh, look at that.
It's in the trailer, Keenan.
Was it for Friday Night Lights?
Yes.
Okay.
No, never had any interest in Friday Night Lights whatsoever. He did an episode of a Freddy Krueger television series from the 80s that I was like, I wonder if he was in it. The one that I remember. Uh, but hot take, I don't care about Hal Jordan. I don't care. I just want the Jon Stewart show that they promised us way back when in like 2018, 19 or whatever, and that's what I've been waiting on. I was always going to watch this show, but the Hal Jordan of it all, I don't care about. And I agree, Cole. I don't think he's making it through the end of this series. He will not make it. The means to an
Now,
end.
that's fair. To our other Kyle, not Emmy winning, but still, we love you. Wait for without an Emmy.
There's still time.
Listen, the world could end tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows? But are you down for Hal Jordan after seeing more of his story in this?
Yes, I don't disagree with the sentiment of what the use of the character is, but this I chatted about this when I covered the main news article, because we didn't have this for this week's episode, that what's so fundamentally interesting and what is so baffling about the failures of previous DC anythings is the misunderstanding that it's a Green Lantern core. Generationally, this is the most separation you have with any version of the character, because quite literally, there have been different ones. You have an Alan Scott ring, Andy. And then if you were there for the Silver Age, you were a Hal Jordan fan. If you didn't like interesting characters, you read Guy Gardner. I'm kidding. He's fine. And then in the 90s, you got Kyle Rayner, who slaps. He's got the best costume of all time. And then, I skipped over Jon Stewart, who, of course, was introduced in the 80s with Neil Adams. And what that character did was so fundamentally important. I don't think I'm overstating that at all. And if you were a millennial, you grew up with Jon Stewart as your Green Lantern through Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. And the best thing that the DCU did when it debuted theatrically, I should specify that, theatrically in 2025, was that opening crawl of establishing this is a world that's been lived in and what it is. And I've never taken it, because I hate the war between blue and red of how things need to be done. It happened in the DCEU where no, everyone's got to get a solo story and blah, blah, blah. That's not true if you can tell a compelling story that is a specific narrative that might have information to fill out their backstory. But if we're watching people in the present and we just see what they do, you don't need to tell me how things happened. Green Lanterns, as interesting as some of them origins have been, it's usually someone died and they go, here you go, you get to be the guy now. Now, can that be interesting? Absolutely. It looks like this trailer is going to hint towards a version of an origin story for Jon Stewart. We see him getting the most focus. It's been reported, Aaron Pierre is going to be in Man of Tomorrow. The real question is, who's not going to be in Man of Tomorrow? But that's a different podcast episode. And obviously, you're going to invest, as we see with so many other studios. The James Bond casting has just started. You want people in their late 20s to mid 30s, because if you want to actually do this, if the Paramount merger hopefully doesn't go through, and you get to do this for a decade, Kyle Chandler is a prestige actor, even though Keenan's never seen anything he's been in. Ozarks as well. Highly recommend it. But in terms of serving the narrative, I love the idea that we are visiting Earth and a vast array of different things. This trailer, we're in the full talking time, Andy, that the first trailer is, I agree with Yara mostly, that trailer is to get the HBO fans. What I think, and I'm victim of this as well, is overlooking what we've been delivered by HBO. Yes, they're The Wire and they're the Sopranos network. Their biggest show of all time was about dragons. Like, you can get people invested in this, in the science fiction realm or the supernatural.
Totally right.
If you tell a compelling story, you get people who have never seen, and we talked about this for the first trailer, you get people who are just interested in the characters. That's why we love these characters for as long as they've existed. Hal Jordan is a 60-plus-year-old character in terms of his comic book history. Jon Stewart, not nearly as much. I would say it's probably around 40. It might be just under. And that trailer sells the dynamic. We are going to watch a compelling story with these two guys, a mentor and a mentee, a relationship that people are acclimatized to in a science fiction cop show wrapper, right? This trailer goes, hey, you idiots who thought we were going to be making this the dark brown lantern. There's obviously going to be constructs. He makes money. There's a tease, I think Cole mentioned on Twitter today, that during the interview with de-aged Kyle Chandler, although honestly it could just be what he looks like now and they're making him look older. I have no idea. The man's aging like a fine scotch. That there is more green in the suit than what we see in earlier versions of it. I like the idea that it's tangible, because as there's a lot of missteps in the 2011 Green Lantern, I give them credit for trying something with making a full CG costume. We weren't there in 2011, but we've already seen teases of constructs actually existing. Kyle makes money in this to put into the jukebox. And I love the idea that you're getting this guy who's supposed to be the prodigal son of the Green Lanterns. But if you read any 90s Green Lantern stuff, there's this thing called Parallax, and you might want to look into that because there could be a lot of teases to that. I don't necessarily want to see that because it feels a little played out if you've been following along with Green Lanterns. But the overall purpose of this show is to get people invested on a big budget television world, because there is less risk inherently by putting this on TV. You have already garnered people's expectations that these things work on the small screen. Creature Commandos was a big success. Yes, that's an HBO Max animated series. Peacemaker season 2 what it was, but it is terrible. And then, but we've looked at it. Welcome to Derry season 1 did really well. That is in essence a horror show, but has so many different Stephen King supernatural elements. There's shining characters and so on and so forth. People are willing to sit there and absorb this stuff that is outside of mobster dramas, which is where HBO made their money, but they're spending it now on IP. This is a mystery with Green Lanterns, but they've put their foot forward with this. We get constructs, we got lasers, we got a space prison with a bag of Sinestro's head. Like, this is a world that we are going to be invested in. And Jon Stewart, I would say for the majority of people who are going to be watching this show, is their Green Lantern. Like, obviously, yes, my name is Kyle. I love Kyle Rayner. He was awesome, but they've never done anything super interesting with him outside of comics. I love Jon Stewart because of his portrayal in the comics, as well as what they've done in animation. And when you think of who this Justice League, not gang, could be, it's got to be Jon Stewart.
I totally agree. I think it's very hard to be in that space of X where people have this idea of what they want, and I think we are forgetting what you just said. Like, we are getting a show from HBO where we are going to be invested in the story and the characters first. Like, for me, that's more important to build that, and then to get to that. We are going to get our space, intergalactic adventures. We are going to get it, but we are going to get that also with the the character part, that we are invested in these stories, and I think it's going to hit better. And I wasn't thinking, I didn't think about the example that you put. Like, you are absolutely right. Like Game of Thrones, like we are talking about dragons, and that's the biggest HBO show. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy, and I think many hardcore fans are losing the side of it. Like, they are watching only one thing, and they are forgetting that this could be like very, very good for DC, for DCU, and for the story.
Yeah, those people are. Sorry. Oh, I was gonna say those people are always gonna exist, but I think, like, when it comes to what you said, Kyle, and you, Yara, like, two things can be true, right? Like, I can see both sides of that, and I totally agree that yes, they have something that is going to win over the fans, and then something to win over the general audience, but also they had to sell the prestige of HBO.
Exactly.
And I think what I think is also, before I give my thoughts on Kyle's channel, is I think is what's worth also remember is that this is a new territory for HBO and DC. We are used to DC shows on the CW, broadcast or Netflix. Now we're entering this new era of where, we're having stories being told across the big and small screen. So it's also okay for studios to get some leeway and time to figure things out. Like not, it's like, yeah, like for whatever people think about the first trailer, you know what? Yes, you know what? I'm glad the trailer happened and all, because now they can look at it and be like, okay, this is not how we, whenever the next HBO DC show would be, they were able to look back and be like, okay, let's avoid what we did with the first Lanterns trailer and try to lean more into what the second one did when we kick off the marketing for whatever ends up being next, Paradise Lost or whatever. So for me, I'm like, the fact that everyone expects them to, that they're, that there's no manual to how some of these things work because again, not even Disney is doing this. They're not, they're putting every Marvel show they have on Disney Plus. They're not, ABC was doing Age of Shield a long time ago, but we're not in those days anymore. So again, it's all about
They gave
experimentation.
ABC Inhumans, and then it was on IMAX. I don't know what you're talking about. Blackagar Bolt again, Andy.
Listen, he hot, so it was worth it. But either way, when it comes to Kyle Chandler, I love him in Friday Night Lights. I love him in anything I've ever seen him in. So the fact that he is our Hal Jordan, listen, I don't give a flying frack how old he's supposed to be. He does not look old, and I like that this is a good way for them to separate themselves from, again, because this is the thing. Warner Bros. Has been terrified to use Green Lantern since 2011. There's a reason why they've been so hesitant to use it. Again, it's like the fact that we even got, Jade, Green Lantern's daughter on Stargirl was even, I'm like, that's a huge accomplishment in itself because that means, they're like warming up now to finally letting this IP be used. And
there
so
were
when I see
historic Green Lanterns in both versions of Snyder's Justice League, like theatrical and the Snyder cut did have Flash in the history lesson. They did use Green Lanterns.
Oh yeah, versus Darkseid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it was Steppenwolf and then Darkseid, but I think it's the same Green Lantern in both versions.
Yeah, it's the same Green Lantern. Yeah, the only main difference was that John was supposed to be in the Snyder cut, and then because Warner Bros. Was like, we're not gonna let you use him, they cut him and they used
Martian Manhunter instead.
Martian Manhunter. So, but for me, like this Hal Jordan, like, again, like of course, I'm a John girly myself. So like for me, I'm like, I'm here for John's Drew. But like the thing is, because this is the problem I had with the Flash, like when it came to the TV show, but also just right now, like with the perception of the Flash that there could only be one. The Green Lantern Corps is rich with so many characters. Like, there's room for all of them. You can do different things with them. Challenge yourself as a storyteller and do that. Like again, I don't agree with Cole that Hal is going to die at the end of this season. I think if anything, they're going to be very ambiguous. I do think what Yara says is correct, that we're probably going to see a lot of flashbacks with Hal later. Maybe they will cast a younger actor and they will do it as like a future season of Lanterns that is a prequel to all of this. And so, but I just don't think we're, yes, John will definitely be, and he should be the main Green Lantern. And then whatever they want to do with Guy Gardner, do it. But I feel Hal needs to be there somehow, at least for a little bit longer, because I think it's too soon to get rid of him, even after only 8 episodes, because there's so much rich history you can do with him and explore. Again, like I know
Kyle, he can fly off and go to space. Like, this is the advantage of a core, right? Like the funniest thing about Earth is there's always like 6 different Green Lanterns who've got rings here, but usually they're sent off to other places. Like if John, the one thing that's weird, and I didn't necessarily love this, is there's one ring in this series that's
weird. That's weird.
I don't love that.
And is it the same ring that Kyle has? Like, are they alternating rings? But I thought he was. Well, maybe that was an assumption that he was off-world in Superman. But I'm like, well, why is there one ring?
Well, there's the one ring Hal uses. Andy is quite literally wearing Guy's ring. Andy, bring to frame. There we go. And then the one that John and Hal are using in this is clearly a different design. I know because the one that Andy's wearing, I bought and sent to him. So I've quite literally seen it up close.
Yeah,
they're very different.
Well, Hal's has the gold framing, which some people are speculating is supposed to be some sort of like symbol of rank. That because he's been a Green Lantern,
when it's almost jeweled within the logo.
Yeah, because I think.
Well, aren't they supposed to be fighting over the same ring?
Well, that's the story thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing.
I think that's on the outside. Cole, I'm just going to say this. I think on the outside, I think that's what they want us to think is going to be the case. I think there is somehow like another ring, and that because otherwise it's going to build a lot of animosity towards Hal. Because obviously we're going to root for John, but again, there's no way that there could only be like one ring. So I think in some ways there will be.
Well, I do have a theory there.
Okay,
what's your theory?
I feel like Oa might be might want Hal to retire being a Green Lantern, and they choose John to take over his place, but Hal doesn't want to give up the ring.
Mm.
It could be.
So they feel he's maybe Detective Murtaugh. He's too old for this shit.
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, that's kind of like some of the story beats I got from this trailer a little bit,
Mhm.
but like,
Yeah, he's
again,
hesitant to give them the ring. Like, yeah.
yeah, because they are beefing, like they
Yeah.
are like pitted against each other, like forced duo cops.
Well,
In a
that's the funniest thing about this just existing is I think anybody who read Green Lantern, because most of the stories they interact with at least another member of the Corps, and to tell a story like this, you should have always had more than one Lantern because the
Mm.
dynamic, all those characters are so succinctly unique. Like
Mm.
Hal and John are very different people. Like, say what you will about the 2011 version, like they got the hotshot pilot part right, and then they forgot to do everything else. Like John as a military trained person, an engineer, like his perspectives on constructs, and we see that already in this. Like what the benefit is of this being TV is you are giving us at minimum, like finger knocking on all the wood, you're giving us 8 hours of a Green Lantern story, which I think the film 15 years ago was maybe 2 hours and 20 minutes. And it doesn't need to necessarily just be a lore dump. And I like the fact that we're seeing the flashbacks because, again, it fills out this larger world without being like, okay, so Hal is a fighter pilot, and then he gets into an accident at Ferris, and then Albin Sur shows up, and then Sinestro's there, and you're like, well, that guy's a bad guy. Like, all this stuff has happened already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, also, I feel that when it comes to, when it comes to John, like, obviously, like, they're building, for example, we still haven't seen him in the suit. That's obviously going to be like their big build up. And
I hope it's just a construct, by the way. I think that would be cool.
I hope it's like a mixture of both because when
Yeah.
I saw Hal's suit, and which again, like it does look good when he's actually wearing, and I think like what you guys have predicted, like when he uses his powers, like it will glow up the suit. It is very Green Lantern Earth One, which again, like when they started, speaking as a
So
journalist, when they were sending out like press information, like press release, whatever what is, like every time we got something from HBO, I always wondered, oh, they're attaching these images from Green Lantern Earth One. There's a reason for that because sometimes these studios they will lean to certain art that kind of like alludes to the direction they're going with. Like when the Flash TV show was announced, there was like one particular Jeff Johns comic that was being sent out in covers with a cover that it kind of like it's supposed to give you this like modern vibe feel of Barry. So it's not, and also because I think everyone assumed like, oh, it's gonna be something Jeff Johns related Green Lantern when they do the show. But again, this is Tom King. He's the one who's really bringing the DC architect into Lanterns. And as far as I know, he hasn't really done a lot with Green Lanterns in the comics during his 10 years. So this is supposed to be kind of like we can mix it up. We can take different iterations and kind of mix them all together to make our Green Lantern canon something special, something different. So,
but the pilot is co-written by Damon Lindelof. Who,
Yeah.
like, if you're going to take somebody who's worked in the comic book genre, and I would say arguably the most controversially adapted part of the quote unquote DC/Vertigo universe, like he goes and makes Watchmen, arguably one of HBO's best series
Exactly.
ever, and you get people
11 Emmys.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Right. So I think it's just fascinating that they're just getting the best people. Like, okay,
Yeah.
who's somebody who knows how to play in our playground? Who's somebody who knows the other side of the fence in that playground? And then you get those people creating, and that's this is called Lanterns. Yes, it's not called Green Lanterns, but I like that you can see the sort of flavors of different comic book things, but this doesn't feel like they're adapting Earth One. I love Green Lantern Earth One.
Yeah.
James Gunn needs to get on it because it is the only thing in that original announcement that is not in reprint for whatever reason. Like Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, selling off the shelves. I love that that's the case. But a lot of the other stuff has been put into reprint. Earth One is not. Of the Green Lanterns. It is not being printed right now. You cannot get a paperback of Volume 2. I have looked.
Damn. Well,
Um,
there you go. I know that Cole has to get going soon, so I do want to kind of get to some of the next parts, because as we see more of John's role in this, we do get a lot of space adventure, a lot of action, laser shots. Some people think it's Red Lanterns. Well, I mean, again, how fitting that the show is called
Atrocitus,
Lanterns.
Lanterns,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. That was my
people-
question. Do we think we're going to see any of the other core?
Well, we did see.
I do think that's
Sinestro.
possible. I do think that's possible.
I'm
There-
sorry,
there,
Cole.
there must be a reason why it's called Lanterns. And also remember the trailer when he introduced himself as Green Lantern. He says, "I'm Hal Jordan, Green Lantern." So yeah, this must be a reason why they didn't call it the show Green Lantern.
Yeah.
No, but Cole, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying that we saw Sinestro, and we know Sinestro is going to be in it a bit, played by Ulrich. And also for if they want to do multiple seasons, I mean, we can see a lot of that lore from the core, and I think that might be one of the reasons why they just went with Lanterns, because we're going to see way more than just Green Lanterns in the future.
Andy, do you remember when they announced the Lantern series originally, and it was supposed to be set in 3 different time periods?
Yeah.
You have okay, so I'm wondering if that is a thought process for this series. Maybe next season we'll see something like that, where it's a different time with a different group of Lanterns, if they do multiple seasons.
So for our listeners who may not be aware, what Keenan is referring to is back in 2019, Greg Berlanti, who created the Arrowverse, he was supposed to executive produce a Green Lanterns show for HBO Max, and it had Seth Green-Smith as a showrunner. Mark Guggenheim was back as one of the writers, and my buddy Lamont McGee from Black Lightning, he was one of the writers. And it was going to feature multiple Lanterns across different time periods in the same season. We were going to be in the 40s with Alan Scott. We were going to be in the 70s with Guy Gardner, who was going to be played by Finn Wittrock, which that would have been hot. When I saw him, that's what they're getting for Guy. Interesting. And then we were going to see Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz in the present time, and then other Lanterns as well. And obviously that is they wrote 8 scripts, and then David Zaslav happened, and then then it got redeveloped to focusing just on John, and it was just going to be a Jon Stewart show. And then DC Studios got announced, and I think it wouldn't shock me at all, what Keenan said. I think they may have looked at some inspirations of maybe not exactly the way they're going to do with the timelines from the Berlanti project, but I think it's definitely one of those. Let's factor this in so that we can focus on other Lanterns down the line, because I know one of the most boring jokes I keep seeing about Lanterns is that, oh, it's so Arrow, but by calling it just Lanterns. I'm like, no, because Arrow, when they launched Arrow, it was because they didn't think there was going to be a whole franchise around DC on the CW. Lanterns, there's a conscious choice, because again, you can have the White Lanterns, the Red Lanterns, all of the other Lanterns in the emotional spectrum. So I think that if this is a big success, I think that that's the purpose that we're going to see. Obviously, I think we're going to explore John through future seasons in between films, but also the other cores that exist out there, and so that way they don't have to be well, let's do a spin-off and then call it Black Lanterns or Yellow Lanterns or Red Lanterns. This way, it kind of just makes it easier. And also, anthology shows. Where again, this would still be in DCU, but again, anthology can also apply to changing the cast to okay, now we focus on the Green Lantern Corps, now we're going to focus on the cast of the Black Lantern Corps, etc. So now they have that leeway, and so I think Keenan is very much onto the point that this was one of the ideas that probably they were very keen on using, but couldn't because there were other factors that didn't allow those Berlanti shows to move forward.
Mhm.
And
I
we have
don't know. I feel like what makes the most sense with this is like, yeah, obviously the case is we know there's going to be other lanterns. Cole's brought it up. Sinestro's in this yellow core, like there they are, the fear core. And what would make, at least as much as James Gunn likes doing his wild look at these random supporting characters, I'm still really hoping for a Chip cameo in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Andy, you know that's where I'm betting on right now. Post credits, you hear it her first, or not first. I said this months ago. But what would be cool is, because this is a core, if Hal does, I don't know, would it narratively make sense to kill him offshore? As a Hal Jordan fan, I hope that's not the case. And we're like, okay, maybe he becomes like, this is a radically different reference, but like Ethan Hunt at the beginning of Mission Impossible 3, for anybody who's seen that, is at IMF training people. He's no longer in active duty. Maybe that's where Hal goes, so that we can have a Jon Stewart as our main Earth. Was it 2814? Is that Earth sector? I always screw that number up.
No.
But is it 2814? And then you could have the other lanterns like that, because of the way that this core works. You can transition other lanterns. We know that John is going to be it's a fair assumption, the universe's Green Lantern, or the movie universe's Green Lantern, and give that could be the opportunity to bring in other ones, kill off Guy Gardner, and then you could bring in Jessica Cruz, Simon Baez, because those are actual
no, first of all, Simon Baez, not Baez. What, like, good lord.
I said Baez.
Yeah, even worse. First of all, new Rachel, good to see you. Yes, I agree. I hope someday too that we will.
I want Jessica too.
Mm-hmm.
There's those two together are such a great combo that I'm like, yeah, I think that I feel we're gonna probably get to them at some point. And I mean, when it comes to Hal, I mean, I don't know, guys. It's kind of interesting that we have a Hal Jordan who is, very much butting heads with John, doesn't want to give up being a Green Lantern. We have Sinestro around, who's obviously probably very, very established. I know, like, a fun post-credit scene to me would be if they think Hal is dead and actually Sinestro got him. I don't know. Like, it would be kind of fun to see Hal as Parallax, because Kyle, I got to go back to what you said before. As much as that's been part of the Green Lantern Corps, we've never seen Hal as Parallax in live action. Like, this is something that would be actually new for DC live action to do.
Mhm.
So for me,
it feels too easy. Like, it's like, in terms of an easy assumption. Like, there's so many things. Like, okay, here's on the red side of it. Going into Infinity War, you're like, well, a bunch of these people are gonna die, and then they just do it, and you're like, great. Like, I felt bad because seeing that film with people, Tom Holland's turning into dust. Oh, Mr. Stark, I don't wanna. I'm like, well, he's got 2 more movies on his contract, and we know Endgame's coming out. Well, I guess we didn't know what it was called then.
What is wrong with you? Like, were you?
They announced the movies afterwards.
I know.
That
Hold on,
ruins
I'm
the
just saying
surprise. I'm going to give you your present in a box that you can look through. Act surprised.
What I'm saying is, so you're telling me when you were sitting in the theaters, you did not feel a little bit emotional?
No, not at
you
all.
were thinking, you're thinking he has a contract.
No, I knew that he had Spider-Man Far From Home, which at that time, and it's still the case, thank you, Sony, he is the only Spider-Man, and at that point it was Infinity War Part 2. Yes, as a well-read comic book reader and somebody who's seen movies before, at the end of Act 2, bad things happen. You know what happens in Act 3? Usually good things happen. So no, I didn't care. You know which one mattered more? Vision, because he got his face ripped off.
Oh yeah, that was brutal.
I feel like Parallax would be huge for general audiences, though, because we haven't seen like a superhero turn bad and stay bad like that, unless you're talking about the Snyderverse a little bit. But
it would make season 2 incredibly insane, because I agree with you, Cole. I think I'm just played out on it because it seems so obvious, but in terms of actual storytelling,
for you, it's
but now that I think about it, I
think it would be great. Which is if you end this with that turn, and then you get Jon Stewart on his own. I'm pitching this as it would be exciting, fighting with Sinestro, like that's your season 2. That sounds awesome. Don't get me wrong. I think it would be really cool. Also, because Kyle Chandler as a villain, because Keenan, I am familiar with his work, would be something new to see from him, which would be awesome.
Okay.
But it looks like there's like a little bit of feeling about Parallax in the trailer, because now that I think about it, like the whole afraid thing, like the fear, and it looks like sometimes it looks like Kyle is like behaving a certain way that can be, but it could be potentially be because of fear of, I don't know, that now that you're talking about Parallax, that's what I'm thinking, because the trailer give us a lot of that, you know what I mean?
There's a gun also
So-
that they inject John with, that there's something like
Oh,
yellow
yeah.
glowing in it.
Exactly.
That was like some
Yeah, I
like
didn't think about that. either.
advanced tech.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's Argus.
Well, yeah.
Honestly.
Go ahead, Keenan.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if it was going to be apocalyptic related. So here's my thing about Parallax is I see where you're saying like it feels obvious. I'm like, is it like Phoenix? Like, yes, we had a lot of failed Phoenixes on television, but just from all the animated things, I'm like, are we gonna jump right into Parallax?
That's
You
where,
know, like,
because they
it's-
just did this in the Tomorrowverse.
But I also think it would be interesting if that has already happened and this is him, like if he survived it. And so this
Yeah,
is
that's
him
true.
like on the other side of it. And they're like, actually, it's time for you to get up out of here. So you need to go train your replacement. And that's that's where we are with this. We're here to
It
speculate.
could be also.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, like, see, look, the marketing is working for them, because look what teaser trailer 2 is supposed, is doing to us. Like, this is what they want. They want us to theorize. They don't want to give all the answers away. So, again, like, when people, because I didn't even notice that it was Sinestro at first, because again, it was like very dark. But like once I like zoomed in, and I'm like, okay, that does look like his skin color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
thought it was. I'm sorry. I thought it was Kyle behind the gate. I was like, what's he in prison for? And then after you said it was Sinestro, I went back and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I wonder
that is the
what
back
it
of his head.
is, because it was giving me very much like Phantom Zone kind of vibe initially. But I'm like, but then I was thinking like, look at this, they're doing a lot of these like interdimensional gates, like again, like
That could be
different
Oa
things.
too. That
I
could
was
be
gonna
look at
ask.
Oa.
That's what
Like,
I thought it was. The
that
planet we see
planetary-
them fly into.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
I was thinking it was Oa. That was my
I just want to see a Guardian so bad in this show that's very grounded for the most part, and then you just
Hopefully
see
they
a
don't
little
look like
blue
the
person.
2011 ones.
Oh, he's so great.
I mean,
that's hilarious.
again, if we're doing flashbacks, I'm sure at some point Hal must have flown up and hung out with them.
Yeah.
And
Do we get
And-
Kilowog or give
We'll
us a
hope for-
giant
we'll
big CG person?
You know what? Yes, I want to kill a Wog.
I want
Please,
Kilowog. I
hope.
want Omar Ree. They're the best.
there's a lot of fun. There's so many fun core members. Again, that's why I'm like, we can
Ego.
have them all. We can have them all.
I want to see Chip like that.
Thank you.
Like,
Yeah.
Listen,
That would be
we're-
amazing.
Chip using his powers.
listen, this is James Gunn's universe. We're of
Yeah,
course,
we're gonna see it. Yeah, we're gonna see it.
In
Of course.
Supergirl, drinking at a bar.
That would be
Amazing.
This is why they moved it, Andy. See, I'm
No,
quelling
that's not-
into
that's not
my.
what they
This is why this is now in August, because when we see Chip, people will understand from the first teaser. They're like, "Oh, Hal told me about that squirrel/chipmunk."
Oh yeah.
That's actually a fair point.
Yeah,
It
Like
kind
I
of makes
said,
sense.
if there's an Green Lantern animated series reference, I will lose my
That'd
mind.
be awesome.
Again, anything's possible. Mind the gap. Good to see you, by the way. I would hate for it to be like that. Beware my power movie. That was a piece of shit. My God, how like that's the one DC movie where I'm like, how do you get John Stewart and Green Arrow together and you fuck it up this much? And
Because they got the wrong ones together. They didn't get to do the heroin stuff with Speedy.
that's because that's what we're gonna do in a animated cartoons franchise, Kyle. We're gonna show
Good.
Roy on.
Have you not
No.
seen Justice League Dark Apocalypse War? It's vicious.
Pretty dark.
That versus Roy is on heroin. Like,
Yeah, they go hand in hand, quite literally. You put the heroin in one hand, the lighter in the other one, I'm assuming. Thank you.
Listen, the only good thing that came out of that Beware My Power movie is that I got to interview Aldous Hodge.
Yes, you did.
That's so cool.
That is it.
He needs to be in the DCU as someone else.
Yeah,
He
I mean, I
feels
love
like
him.
someone
I
they
love
could bring
him as Hawk. I love him as
He was
Hawkman,
a
but like,
great Hawkman too.
yeah.
Mhm.
Also, I think Black Adam gets a little too much hate from people, but that's just me.
No.
I would
Black Adam.
Dr. Fate takes his helmet off. His powers still work. They don't even understand how Dr. Fate works.
Listen, no, because that was 00 Fate. Okay, he was 00 Fate,
Double O Fate.
and I was here for 00 Fate.
Perfect casting. Bad writing.
That's fair.
you got butthurt over because he took off his helmet and it didn't just disappear.
No, his powers stayed. That is not how. Quite literally, I can't remember the name of the
I'm just
god.
rage baiting.
right
I'm
now.
just rage baiting you.
What is the
because
name
I
of
knew-
the god?
Naboo. Is
Naboo?
it Naboo?
Naboo's in the helmet. You put it on, then you get to use Naboo's powers. You take helmet off, and Pierce Brosnan should no longer have the fake CGI muscles he had.
Wow, talk
Look,
about
that
Pierce
might have
Brosnan.
been all Pierce. Okay, you don't know.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
exactly.
That's
How do you
right.
know?
He
You weren't
got
there. You weren't
really
there.
buff for this role in Black
Just
Adam.
cuts.
Listen, he said,
Yeah.
Like,
"I gotta put
I'm
this
gonna be with.
spandex on."
Do we? Is there anything else we want to say about the Lanterns trailer before we wrap? I mean, again, Guy Gardner is back, and
Oh yeah.
Guy is back.
I'm excited for him to say fuck a bunch of times.
It's gonna be so funny. Like I felt that would be like the most memeable thing about the show in a good way. Because again, I just love memes, but like
It is the part that throws me off, though, just because we are used to like James Gunn's naughty little side of the DCEU with Peacemaker, and then obviously we got season 2 of Peacemaker, which was then DCU retconned. Where you're like, yeah, you have fun over there, and then in this same thing, it's gonna take the adjustment because we haven't had a universe cohesively switch ratings effectively. Like they've always felt tangentially. Only until recently did it feel like Daredevil really was sinking its teeth into the MCU. That the fact that DCU is doing this with what? Are we on the 4th project? By the time this comes out, 4th or 5th?
Yeah.
Right?
It'll be the 5th. I think it'll be 5th
project,
after Supergirl. Yeah.
Yeah, 5th
Superman,
project. We're
Superman.
getting. I'm gonna say it now. It's probably gonna get Emmy nominated if they do it right.
Of course.
Right? If like because Yara, it was 11 Emmys for Watchmen.
11 Emmys. Man,
Yeah.
Damon Lindelof, like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like that's why like when I heard that he was attached, I'm like, now I'm sold. Like again, because I haven't watched Ozark. I've heard a lot of good things about Ozark, but I haven't seen it.
Ozark is
and-
amazing. Ozark
No,
is
I've heard great things. I've heard great things. I just haven't seen it. But I'm like, but when I heard Damon Lindelof, I'm like, okay, yeah, fucking let him cook. So, where was I going with this? No, any other thoughts about the Lanterns trailer that you all want to share before we get to the Batman?
Do we think this is still leading to whatever the greater DCU
Yes.
storyline?
Yeah,
No,
Well, I
there's a
think
ancient-
that's that mystery that they're teasing up.
yeah,
Yes,
the
I do
ancient,
think that.
the ancient horror that they keep talking about. That
Yeah.
no.
okay.
I don't. No, I
I feel like
think,
they let that go, and we're just gonna
no, I don't
rock and
think they
roll.
let that go. I feel like James being a part of like. I
But
think
they,
one of
they
the-
said it recently in an interview. The creators, they said it recently. I think.
Yeah.
James
Again.
Gunn said it.
No,
Yeah,
no,
there's
no.
all
but
this.
I think the creators said it in
Yeah,
like you can say there's a larger story. We all saw. I mean, I shouldn't assume. I'll speak for myself. The Infinity Saga is looked at with rose-colored glasses. They got there stumbling, putting their pants on, and it worked. But
Yeah.
there are some massive Thor: The Dark Worlds along the way to get
Oh, yes. Oh yeah.
to that
yeah.
to that
yeah.
that two-parter, and I don't want the DCU to do that because again, and I'm not Andy, I'm only going to say this briefly. We are still in the infancy of this thing. We have actual Green Lanterns who seem tolerable and not wearing bowl cuts. With this thing, we will have at least 2 Kryptonian-based films. We had some gang members. I would be shocked if we don't wind up getting Hawkgirl in the Justice League, especially if James Gunn knows how to write anything that millennials will really be attached to. There are other heroes that I would like to get filled out with before we worry about some grander threat. Like, we already know Man of Tomorrow has to be cataclysmic thing to make Lex want to work with Superman because of Brainiac and whatever. The Savage Land stuff that was teased in Peacemaker season 2.
I mean, Salvation.
Salvation.
Salvation,
I
I
don't care.
don't-
I have
Same
purged.
difference.
I have purged. I've read that comic. I've purged most of Peacemaker from my brain for other things that I actually like because it was awful.
Hilarious.
Okay, but I'm
And
going to counterpoint. I'm gonna offer a counterpoint because
Okay.
this is where your argument doesn't really work.
Okay.
Yes, you don't care about some other mystery, ancient evil that is out there because you're worried about what's going on these other side. But again, we have to remember that all these projects, yes, despite them being in the same universe, they have to stand on their own. So yes, there is absolutely going to be some bigger mystery that will, of course, it's not just like we're just focusing on chapter one.
For the
just being about
grander
bringing-
DCU or just the Green Lantern portion of this world?
I'm talking about, again, he has said that it's supposed to have a bigger effect on chapter one, but obviously it's also going to be very, very oriented to whatever it is that Landers is trying to tell. So again, we can't just ignore that and then just be like, well, then, there's Brainiac or there's this or there's that. Like, there's going to be multiple different things going on all at the same time. So again, I think that, again, we will, once we see more marketing, like probably, again, it's probably going to be one of those things that they're trying to keep a big hush on. But again, I don't think there's right now anything to suggest they just abandon it because that's kind of what it sounded like you thought they had. Like, I don't think there's going to be like, I don't think it's just some murder mystery and then boom, John is now a Green Lantern.
Sorry, are you talking about the universe as a whole has a big mystery?
Both. So like whatever.
When was that introduced?
Is it
going to be in this?
It could be introduced in this.
Yeah, the way I understood it is that whatever this mystery that they're solving is supposed to kick off whatever the overall
I'm looking for
arching
the
narrative
quote from
for
this guy.
Yeah,
Forgotten
because
Monsters.
there was a Threads reply from Gunn that was like, it does tie into the Superman stuff.
Do
I
we
think
see
we
the
can try to
Earth
find that.
splitting in Lanterns?
They could cover the Metropolis split,
That would be interesting.
or at least talk about it. I mean, it probably was a big thing. I mean, the whole Earth was opening up,
and maybe that's why Garner is there, and maybe he's taking things a little more seriously now because
how does Guy Gardner tie into this whole thing?
Yeah,
He's getting fired.
Yeah, from Maxwell Lord.
What do you think he was at HR and like in that trailer and being like, oh, I'm handing in my ring, my badge,
Well, we had the Maxwell Lord thing. Is like that gonna? We haven't talked about. I know we're wrapping up, but it'll be interesting if that has anything to do with this, right? Like, obviously, Hal is not a sponsored bitch, and Guy was, right? Because the costumes are different. That's quite literally part of the the imagery given from Superman. Like, that's the conversation I want to see, is because it looks like Guy is talking to somebody in a prison cell, which
I thought that was John. Yeah, I think he's the one who gets John out.
Yeah, he probably bails him out.
But we're wasting our time if we don't get Hal and Guy in a scene together.
Well, there's 8 episodes, and it's gonna be 1 hour long. I'm pretty sure you're gonna see.
He recently said that he was in a few, at least a few scenes, like separate scenes or something.
I think he's definitely filmed. I think he's filmed enough scenes that you can spread him out throughout the season. Like, I don't think he's just in one episode and boom, he's gone.
Yeah.
But I know Cole has to get going, so I say whatever else you want to say about Lanterns, and then fly off. I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty excited. And I don't care about the internet traction or whatever. I know my thoughts. I'm pretty excited. And I'm excited to see what the mystery is, first of all, and what it can mean for maybe a season 2 or a wider DCU threat or plotline.
There you go. Well, Cole, you could tell people where they can find you on social media and anything else you want to share.
At Home of DCU on Twitter.
Simple as that. Cole, thank you always for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.
Of course, always.
Bye, Cole.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Take care.
New Rachel says, guys, canonically a sellout. There you go. I just
Yeah, he tries to get a job in the Justice League International with Blue Beetle.
and mind again brings up an interesting. What if it's the center from the New Frontier?
That would be sick, and that is a criminally underrated comic book / animated feature.
amazing
That's
movie.
something that Daniel RPK, I think, teased at some point a few months ago.
And it
that-
needs to be Keith David again.
He teased that, you know. I don't know if because this Scooper sometimes they got it right, they got it wrong, but
The
he
center
told
would be
to-
awesome.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
connect technically,
Mhm.
canonically to Starro. I mean, I don't want another connection to the Suicide Squad because I'm tired. That well is getting annoying. But the center is essentially the birthplace of Starro, at least in that version of the story.
Hmm.
Well, moving to
In the center, the story, the center goes to Paradise Island, right? Like go to Themyscira.
It is no, yes, it does. It goes to that's what brings Wonder Woman into the fight.
Exactly, and we are getting Paradise Lost. I don't know.
I'm hoping that's the next show that goes
Yeah,
forward
Yes,
after.
please.
You know,
and
if I'm-
Wonder Woman movie.
Yes, give us I just want an actor who can play Wonder. I actually want an actor to play Wonder Woman. Who is it? No, but which is it? Aria Arjona? Who is she playing? We don't know.
It's if Arjona is playing Maxima, it feels like a waste of a rising star.
Listen, I don't think I'm gonna say it right now. I don't think Arjona is playing Maxima. There's no way she's playing
It
Maxima.
just makes sense.
You doesn't make like why they haven't announced it yet for Cyrus.
I wonder if they're
And
just trying to-
Matthew Lillard.
Oh,
Although
yeah,
IMDb
yes.
might have leaked he's playing King Faraday, which totally works for me.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
That would
I
be
okay,
amazing.
I saw
enjoy
that.
this Lillard song.
I saw.
okay, hold on, because we some of us are journalists here. We have to be responsible. IMDb can be changed by anyone. Because today on TikTok, I saw someone say that, he's rumored to be playing Jay Garrick. I'm like, they're not bringing Jay Garrick. Like, listen,
No.
as much
No,
Flash as I want in the DCU, they're not bringing in Jay Garrick. And
Well,
Matt
no,
Tabarda.
we've seen a set photo of him in somewhere. Could be Argus, could be LexCorp. It's a
What?
governmental thing. So
I remember the day when they cast him. James posted photos like,
Oh,
just hanging out
yeah.
with Matt. He's
Yes.
talking about that image.
Oh yeah. Let me look for that photo.
Yeah, again, he's wearing a shirt and tie, sure, but
Put it on
Who's-
Threads, I think.
yeah, I think he put it on Twitter as well. At
it was
least,
Threads for sure.
yeah, because that is his favorite place for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
he won't stay on Twitter too much these days because people are
Which
just lazy.
I don't blame him. Like, I mean, it's a miracle I'm still on Twitter.
Yes.
But going to the Batman, because
Oh yes, I saw.
we live in an era now where we announce casting through chairs for a 5-hour plus stream.
This was way better.
Yeah,
This was so more comfortable because I'm like, I am not sitting if he is about to go live and like start like we're in a dark room and then one name shows. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing
But
this.
do you remember the Batman suit
costume.
reveal? That was
That was epic.
fire.
That was fire. What was not
you guys
fire
think that
was
we
what
were gonna get that again, right? For a new suit? Do you think that?
I mean, they're filming next month. I'm thinking there's gonna be something because they're gonna because he teased that there will be like we'll see you soon.
Mhm.
Man, I
Bat
can't,
movie.
that's
Yeah.
the most anticipated film of 2027, and it's not close.
How are we feel? Okay, so we've seen he's given the
first.
full cast, and we obviously the obvious ones are back.
No, I don't think that's necessarily true.
What?
Who am I leaving out?
Well, no, not obvious that all the familiars are back because there was several conversations with Andy on if he was going to be available because he's making a little movie for New Line that he's also directing and starring in. The Adventures of Gollum and Hip Hop or whatever the heck it's going to be.
The Hunt of Gollum is what it's called. It's not.
Oh my God.
The Adventures of. Wait, you didn't know I could do that? Keith, I can do a very good Gollum.
Yeah, no, my I know what it's called. I'm sorry. Should I explain that I don't care? But I was more concerned on him being back as Alfred, because him and Matt Reeves are obviously boys. They worked on the 2 Planet of the Apes films that are criminally underrated. Because Andy has said in several interviews, he's like, I really hope it works out scheduling wise.
Yeah, I mean, Alfred was always going to be back, but it's, and they think that he can always show up later to film his stuff. But yeah, we had a lot of new players that we've heard reports about. Scarlett Johansson is in, Sebastian Stan is in, Charles Dance is in, Tyler Henry,
Harvey Bullock.
We don't know that yet.
He's Harvey Bullock. I will accept no other role from him.
All the new actors they revealed, he didn't share who they were playing, which is very interesting.
Technically, didn't for ScarJo or
like that's literally why. If you didn't interrupt me, Kyle, I literally just said they didn't reveal anything about the new people that they announced, which includes the former Black Widow and Winter Soldier. Is it maybe too soon to assume that maybe that they're the Dents after all? Because that's what every trade and some of these scoopers are saying, that she's Gilda Dent, and he's Harvey Dent, and Charles is the father of Harvey Dent, and is it that simple? Yes, Kyle, you may answer.
Thank you, Mr. Babakt. I do. Quite frankly, I do. I think it's incredibly simple. What's most compelling about the world that Matt Reeves created is it is succinctly based on things that I would say are less popular in terms of the overall Batman world. There's a lot of the Telltale Wayne history / Arkham history in the Batman, looking at the relationships that the Waynes have and the Arkhams have with Gotham and its history, which automatically a lot of people are assuming Court of Owls. I don't think that's necessarily out of the realm of possibility. I'm putting zero stock on Mr. Freeze. I don't think it makes any sense. But what would be really cool, based on what we know already from the first film, is Matt Reeves loves the long Halloween. If you are actually going to tell a story that bothers to look at who Harvey Dent is as a person, you need Gilda in there. And what would be really interesting about that part of Gotham City is if you have Tywin Lannister there as Charles, and we are continuing to explore the history of Gotham prior to Bruce, i.e. the generations before Harvey and himself, looking at the Dents are a highfalutin family that have always been connected to the politics of Gotham City. If you are going to do the Court of Owls in any way, which would lead it more into a mystery, I don't think a mystery where like, oh, look, people are frozen. Wow, I wonder who did that. Mr. Sub-Zero. Oh, that's a different New Line franchise. And so I think it is these people, because what's so funny about so much of, I mean, X is obviously, Yara said, it's a horrible place. Nobody should spend time there. But I have a similar sentiment that I've seen a couple other people talk about, which is Harvey is more important to Gotham than Two-Face. Yes, Two-Face is an iconic design, made even more popular, like so many villains, because of Batman the Animated Series, that gave those characters interesting origin stories. But what that show did, that I'm hoping Matt Reeves has taken from, Robert Pattinson himself has said how much he loves Mask of the Phantasm, is Harvey's relationship with Bruce, and then Harvey's relationship to what he's trying to do in Gotham is so important in the overall mission of making the city a better place. They used Rupert Thorne in Batman the Animated Series. We saw how significant it was in the first Batman in taking down Falcone. There's a power vacuum. We're jumping off of the Penguin, who is now likely going to be the mobster running the city. There's no mystery there. But what's interesting is what has all of those changes done to Gotham City? What else would you need when crime is probably up than a DA who's trying to do things right? And we know we already are getting Officer Martinez. To me, that leads me to believe we're going to be spending more time with the GCPD. And who is everybody's favorite detective at the GCPD, Andy? Probably played. All of this is assumption, because, yes, we have no confirmation of freaking anything. Harvey goddamn Bullock. You want Jeffrey Wright and Brian Tyree Henry arguing about anything, anywhere? I will watch 3 hours.
That makes sense, actually.
I'm on board. I'm on
I'm on
board.
board also. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say I was against it. I just said we don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Mind the Gap brings up an interesting question. Could Scarlett Johansson be Jessica Dent and Two-Face? Jessica is okay. So people who don't know, Jessica is Harvey's sister in the comics. I would lean more towards her being Gilda than anything. I am buying the idea that
The
Gilda
gifts,
could
I
be
think, tease the roles. There's a reason I think he used what he did. Matt is not a stupid person. What gift did he pick for Scarlett Johansson? She's got a bob. You know who's
Yeah.
got a bob? Gilda Dent.
I could see Gilda being the Two-Face of this universe, and that's that way. Sebastian Stan's Harvey remains like one of the few allies that Gotham still really has. Because again, as we all know, GCPD is fully corrupt. Jim is the only good cop, which in today's political climate, it's weird to saying good cop because if you know, you know. But if we're gonna invest more time into the GCPD, we need to just hone in on the fact that it's a corrupted system, and if someone like Harvey Dent and Jim Gordon and whoever else, like I love the fact that there is this fan base for Officer Martinez, because I'm like, yeah, he was like, I love that he got this like own little like fan club going, and then when he was like, and then the fact that Matt Reeves actually announced it, I'm like, because I was covering this on the screen right, like with a live breaking that article. So as soon as the tweet went live, I'm like, and he announced that motherfucker, and then that was the last tweet he did for the night. I'm like, that is goofy, but also so real. Yeah, like if they're gonna do the Dent story again, which again it's the Dark Knight.
Can you say what do you mean by that again?
I don't. The fact that we're doing another Batman sequel in like modern cinema history that leans into the Dents in the second movie after new Batman franchise has kicked off, I'm kind of like,
but there's no guarantee at all that you've said it yourself. You
again,
could do an entire franchise where Harvey's just Harvey.
Yeah,
they did it in the 80s.
That's what I'm saying is that if we're gonna do Harvey Dent again, I'd rather Gilda be the Two-Face here, so we get something new, something different. Because again, I don't know what she's like as Two-Face in the comic. I just know that at some point she became a Two-Face.
Jessica, you mean?
No, Gilda. We're not talking about Jessica Dent is not again, because I think they also got Sebastian and Scarlett Johansson so that they can play a couple, because Gilda is his wife in the comics, and I think that's supposed to also create this moral complexity of if she turns evil, how is Harvey gonna fight? How is he gonna is he gonna go oppose his wife, or is he actually
how he's gonna react?
Yeah, so
I don't think they're doing Two-Face at all.
In that case, I really want to know. In that case, I'm really curious about who the actual villain is going to be, because at this point, like, there were reports that Barry Keoghan was going to be back as Joker, but Matt did not announce him. Paul Dano, okay, calm down. Paul Dano,
you just had a whole diatribe that you didn't want another Two-Face story, which I know.
I'm just saying. Oh my God, was it 16 years ago? Don't make me feel old. 2008, actually. So it's actually way further.
Sorry,
now
longer. 18. You're right. Yes. So how many Jokers we got? We got Folle ou deux. Like, I don't need more Jokers.
Yeah, Joker can sit on the shelf for a while longer, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Oh, he did have a Two-Face in those movies. In one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, Two-Face was also in Folle ou deux. So.
Oh, was he?
Two-Face was also in Gotham.
Yeah, he was there.
I remember. I think I rented it on something and I fell asleep.
You rented it?
Yeah, like
that's the better way to
Apple.
watch that, because you can fall asleep.
Yeah, on I
had to see that in theaters.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, for me, like, I mean, also I think they did, even though it was a short-lived show, Two-Face on Gotham Knights was pretty cool. But either way, I'm curious to see if they're doing. So did the CW. If the Dents are going to be used, then do something different. Like I said, like I agree with Mind the Gap. You don't hire Johansson just to play a wife.
Yeah.
agreed. And again, like the gift choices, yeah, because everyone was kind of like, oh, is he gonna use something from Black Widow and the MCU for Sebastian? And no, ironically though, he did use a gift of Brian from Eternals, and I'm kind of like, so what's the
It would have been
hint?
funny if it was him from Spider-Verse. That would have been entertaining.
I am so worried for him in Spider-Verse 3, because we know there's a chance that Miles' dad may.
It's going to be the end capper on the greatest comic book trilogy of all time.
Don't worry me, okay? Either way.
Is that hyperbolic? I don't think it is.
No, I don't want. I just don't want to worry about him. I don't want him to die. Like I'm
Sorry
like,
to put you in a bad spot.
Yeah, because unlike you, I actually get emotional when I go to the theater. Unlike, oh my god, Tom Holland still has 2 movies on his contract.
But they tell interesting stories in the Spider-Verse.
This is why I could never go to the theaters. Because if I'm in there crying, and I hear you going, but Andy, they have a contract. They're gonna be.
Whoa! No! Stop right now. Are you assuming you clearly don't listen to FRP? Do you think that I talk in the theater, Mr. Blocked?
Yes.
No,
yes,
I sit
to
there.
Yourself.
No, okay, to myself. No, because that's called an internal monologue. I don't have to say it out loud.
I could bet that if someone was sitting close enough to you in the theater, they could hear you going in little whispers like,
no.
Rob, you need if you watch this, go down and visit him and go see a film with him and see if he.
I've seen films with Rob.
Okay, I will let him be the judge of it when I talk to him, because I bet you are a talker. Going back to the Batman 2. No. Going back to the Batman 2. They announced a couple other new faces. Then I'm like, okay, could any of those, if it's not the Dents whatsoever, could they be somehow the main? Well, there was I don't know how to say his last name. Sebastian.
Probably Cock.
Kush?
I think it's probably Cock. Yeah.
Say that again.
Cock.
You both did it. Wow.
I'm not
really,
laughing
guys,
at somebody's name in 2026.
No, but do you not? Wow. Okay.
Yes, I hear what it sounds like, but it is somebody's name.
Good. Yeah, I know. It's still funny though, because.
Okay.
But either way,
so when his name comes up in the credits when you're watching Batman Part 2, you're gonna laugh to yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
In my internal monologue.
In external.
Yeah, it's exactly. Oh, good Lord, don't script me now. If it's not the Dents, and if it's not Coral Owls, what else could this next threat be? Because I'm like, these other cast members.
Baby.
Who?
I would love Hugo Strange. Yeah,
Strange.
I would love it.
Because
somebody said that might be the reason he's all, Do you saw him like recently?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, for Sebastian Stan?
For Sebastian Stan.
No. I thought you were.
You're talking about the other Sebastian.
Yeah, the other Sebastian.
Okay.
But she made a good point. Because I was wondering, why is he shaving his head for Batman?
No, that was a different role. The movie, we just got the first advertisements for that.
The filming starts next month. You don't think him shaving his head is going to have anything to do with it?
No, because Chris Evans wore a wig for Infinity War and Endgame. This happens all the time.
But why he did it? Because he like a week ago he was with full hair. He was training. Remember that he was like training or something.
Exactly.
And then he shaved.
I don't think necessarily it's gonna. I don't think necessarily it might. I don't think it's gonna be a wig necessarily. I wonder if it's.
We have no idea. Mike Mignola is, I believe, returning to be the makeup guy who's already Oscar nominated, Emmy winning. So who knows what he? It could be Sebastian Stan walks in and somebody we have no idea who they are comes out. Right?
Well,
it is.
Let's look at the Penguin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who is back and very okay? Can I ask you guys a question, because I've seen this and I think it's true. After Penguin, Colin Farrell's on the Batman villain Mount Rushmore, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. Right.
Is that the question?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, because I've seen people be like, "Well, they clearly didn't watch Penguin."
But I think
of course he is.
I feel like the Penguin has always been one of my and probably just because of the commonality of it, but one of my top Batman villains, just because
Mhm.
I have of all of them, like he and Joker are like the ones we have the most screen time with across
Mhm.
all of the
Yeah.
Mhm.
things.
No, you're right.
Mhm.
I mean, look
Yeah.
at Gotham. Like Penguin was like essential to all those fights. Kyle, shut up. I like
Yeah,
Gotham
but
was
not.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, even Batman 66.
Time is exist.
Penguin
Burgess
was one.
Meredith.
Yeah,
Batman
he was
Returns.
there, and of course, yes, Danny DeVito. Like, how could we forget? So
That's
I
a
don't know.
good.
I think
That's,
the
that's a
world
good
that
movie.
Matt Reeves has built, what's clearly important is Gotham is not just the canvas for which the story is being told. It is just
character.
as important to it.
Yeah.
So building out that history, establishing all those different relationships, it doesn't feel like it's going to be something as outlandish as a lot of people are hoping for. Like Hugo Strange totally fits into that narrative.
Agreed.
How the city has changed, understand, like Batman is now that symbol for hope. That's the point of the 3 hours of the film. What has that done to Gotham as a society that you are now idealizing this vigilante who's technically committing crime? We know that there's likely going to be a symbol of some sort based on how the film ends. And what is that going to do for the criminality within the city? Do you have somebody working in Arkham? They already established the existence of the Arkhams in the world in the first film. So Hugo Strange doesn't feel so far like there's I think 3 or 4 possibilities that make the most sense. Is it also possible that Matt Reeves is like, nah, I thought of something even crazier? Absolutely. This is the guy who essentially made the book of Exodus with War of the Planet of the Apes, right? Like quite literally telling the story of Moses. In that instance, it's Caesar, of bringing them to the promised land. So his inspirations quite literally could be biblical or a comic that maybe nobody else read.
But that's one of the reasons why I like this universe, this franchise so much, is because he is pulling from different, for example, like one comic I'd never read that apparently was a big influence for the Batman. The first one was Batman Ego.
It's so good.
Which I'm like, oh God, damn, I've heard of this type, but I've never read it, but like that's quite the reference. So like again, like
well, somebody brought up new what's it called? New Frontier. They're both Darwin Cook.
There you go. So listen, like this is why I'm happy that Matt Reeves got to take the time he needed to work on the script. I'm like, again, I'm fine that this comes out 5 years after the first film. I'm like, I want a good movie. Don't rush. I don't want a rushed movie. So, but no, it is exciting. We're like next month, filming is gonna happen. We're finally gonna get things underway, and I'm excited to see how this will play out, especially because with set photos, and there's gonna be a lot to look forward to. Is there anything else we want to talk about the Batman 2 before we wrap things up? I think we kind of covered, things with
I want
tomorrow.
Robin.
Oh yes, me too.
I do. I want somebody who doesn't think of Robin as just a random character. He's important to the mythos. Like the best example of what Robin does for Batman, and to circle back, is the New 52, or not New 52, not that, the New Frontier. They quite literally use that story, specifically in the animated adaptation, which is, I think, just as good as the comic book, which shows Batman as that terrifying figure, which they already did in The Batman, when he's there investigating the death of the mayor. They show you that kid for a reason. He terrifies that kid, and by the end of the film, he is that symbol, I've already said this, of hope. It's the kid who goes to him when they're in the arena, followed by Bella Real, who's also coming back. I'm super pumped to see that. Jamie Lawson was great in The Running Man, which wasn't a great movie. But with Robin, it changes who Batman is. He's not the skulking vigilante. He's a symbol for justice. And what is that relationship like? We know how Robert's Bruce views children based on his experience. The likelihood of seeing the public-facing Bruce change, because Batman is probably much more in the public, just as an idea, less so than like Bat credit cards or whatever from Batman and Robin. But you need Bruce to be presenting that duality, because if he is the Kurt Cobain guy and people are seeing Batman more, I wonder who could do that. Well, maybe a guy who never leaves his house, who has billions of dollars. So the movie's already springboarded us for a good continuation of where the characters are left narratively, that I do think Robin could serve a purpose. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be disappointed about it, but I do think there is space for it to
Yeah.
be
For
a
that.
massive part of the film.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think people have always said, oh, Robin doesn't work in a Batman live action story. They just don't get they don't get it. Like you can absolutely do Robin. You just
Damian Wayne, not the guy.
was never even on, he was never even on my brain. Like he doesn't
Well,
exist
he's
to me.
on James's, unfortunately.
If that movie ever happens,
Directed by who?
I will be the new Andy that directs. There we go, and I will.
It's not
cast
happening. Welcome to Derry. He's too busy. Drew Goddard,
I will,
baby.
I will listen. If they need another Andy to direct it, I will cast Jonathan Bailey as Batman. I'll get rid of Damian Wayne. We're gonna put in Tim Drake because Tim Drake is the best Robin. Period. So, like when Christopher Nolan was going on about like, no, Robin doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, no, it doesn't make sense to you because you're not trying.
Exactly.
Like, you can do Robin. You can absolutely do Robin. He is like again, like because if it's just Batman alone for however more movies we get, like again, like there's gonna be other people in the city that will look up to Batman and be like, I need to take part of this. I want to do what he's doing. I believe in his cause. So because right now, like Gotham is at
Harvey
a.
Dent.
I do too, or Celtic Dent. We will see. But I think that's a good place to wrap things at. I want to thank everyone who joined us tonight for this lively discussion about the Batman Part 2 and of course the Lanterns trailer, with Lanterns premiering on HBO on August 16th. And of course, go follow Home of DCU on Twitter, who run by lovely Kyle. Yara, Everil, thank you so much for joining us. We will definitely have to have you back in the future
Sure.
very, very soon. Tell people where they can find you on social media and tell them about your YouTube channel and anything else you'd like to promote.
Well, you can find me at Yara Wayne at every corner of the social media. You can find me in Yara Wayne. Of course, my YouTube channel is in Spanish, but you can put subtitles. But yeah, it's very easy. Yara Wayne.
There you go. Keeks, where can we find you? Because you just came back to Twitter. I saw. I didn't know because I was like,
Yeah,
this must be a bot. This cannot be the Keenan who's back on Twitter, but it was you.
No,
So
I did it. Just there to share these things. But you can definitely find me on Instagram and Threads at reclaw.noneek. That is Keenan Walker backwards. Because I
Why
love
is it
Zatanna.
backwards?
Because
There
we
you go.
love Zatanna.
Yes.
She is my girl. And you can also follow the Rewind Podcast at the Rewind Podcast on all the things. We're on TikTok there as well. So listen to us. And I have some movie reviews coming out at some point in time when I finish my script. So you'll see that if you follow me on Instagram.
there you go. And also, guys, if you haven't checked out, one of the latest videos was Keenan recapping his adventures at CinemaCon 2026. It's live on Demos YouTube channel, so go check it out. And of course, all the coverage he does for us. Keenan, you're a champ. You've been doing so much this year in only a few months. So again, we love to see it. We love to see the grind, as the kids say it, or whatever. I know tomorrow will be a new lingo that I won't even know. So
I'm always behind.
do you? So am I. Trust me. Like, we will talk later. Kyle, where you're at?
He says with such disdain. You invited
Such
me.
I'm kind of stuck with you. So it's.
That's not true.
Oh, so I have an option. Good to know.
I
where you're at.
am the host of the Film Realist podcast. That's the film and TV podcast from a complete nobody. That is hopefully for somebody. I cover the major releases cinematically as well as on the small screen. So coming up, I'm going to be reviewing, unfortunately, The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh yeah.
Yay. But Andy did recently join me, our MOC viewers, for a conversation on The Punisher One Last Kill. It's a jam-packed episode. So Andy and I talked about that. So all the things, there's a lot of different things coming up. May and June are jam-packed. So follow Film Realist on all the things because I'm everywhere. TikToks, Instagram, Reels, Blue Sky, Threads, YouTube.
You name it.
And you
I
name
love
it.
it.
Honestly, I think I still have a Mastodon account. It definitely doesn't get used, but it's there.
Hey, you're out
Good to
there.
have it.
I'm
You're
out there.
You can find me at Anibite on all social media. I am one of the senior lead writers at Screen Rant. I just recently I did my first review for Screen Rant for Punisher One Last Kill, so you can check it out there along with my other
It was
coverage.
liked by John Bernthal. Marvel pull
Yeah.
quoted Andy. Don't let
Yeah.
him bury the lead.
I did not bury the lead. It's on my socials. I definitely did not bury the lead. But one of my best buddies was kind of like, okay, but you need to like hone it in at some point. I'm like, oh, I know. It's not gonna be like talking about it every day for the rest of the year. Maybe just like
No,
once
you
a
should.
week.
It's
I
too
will try
bad
to
they
get
don't make home media anymore, because if that's like if Marvel pulls that, it usually winds up on the Blu-ray, because like Molly's on Ant-Man and the Wasp.
There's true.
So if they in like 10 years make the Blu-ray, it'll be on there.
Hopefully. But yeah, you can find me at Screen Rant. I'm the editor of Multiverse of Color. Just had a new interview go out with Karen Fukuhara for The Boys season 5. Series finale airs this Wednesday. Tune in. And then I have some other stuff in the works that you guys will see soon. But yeah, you can find the podcast on all the links below in the video description, and of course check out Multiverse of Color, where you can find Keenan's coverage, Cole's coverage, Kyle's coverage, and all of our amazing team members who work there. We have many more things coming up. Breeze has shared some movies lately, and she has some things coming up. So we're hustling, we're busy. So, but yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channels if you want to keep up with us when we go live for the next thing. We're hopefully going to try to do these studios podcasts more live, more often, especially now that the DCU is going to come back starting next month. So, but for everyone who tuned in, thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you guys tuning in and chatting and sharing your thoughts on the topic related to DCU and so much more. But yeah, for all of us here, you guys have a good one, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye-bye.